back to another episode of The American Entrepreneur, where we interview entrepreneurs all over the world. But if they're looking to develop a business or a team or help anybody out in the United States, we want to hear their story. Maybe they went through something and learned along the way they want to share with you guys. The guest we have today, his name is Dallas Rushing. Please welcome. I really thank you so much for being a part of this, man. Just jump right into it. Who are you? What got you into the world of entrepreneurship? And maybe something you've learned along the way.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for having me, Mike. I appreciate you, man. So like I said, my name's Dallas Rushing. I'm 23 years old. Currently, I live between Austin, Texas, and LA. I was born and raised in LA, but I'm here in Austin for the most part now, looking to just expand what we've already got going over here, and get some more clients in this area as well.
Nice. Your name's awesome, by the way. Dallas Rushing. That's awesome. Awesome name, dude.
Oh man, growing up in sports, all the time I'd get it from umpires and referees. Like that's a good football name. I was like, yeah.
They have to be. Your parents had to be big football fans. Had to be, right?
My dad, he's a pretty big football fan, but he's from a small town here in West Texas called San Angelo. My mom's from LA, and I think more so my mom liked the name. There's a weatherman in LA named Dallas Rains, and it's not that I'm named after him, but I think that's where she heard the name first.
That's awesome, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah, no biggie. So what got me into entrepreneurship? After high school, man, I had done stuff growing up. Like I used to sell like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and baseball cards and all kind of stuff to other kids that I play with growing up. All kind of stuff like that, like I'd sell candy at the baseball field and little stuff like that. But my focus at that time was sports. I went to college for baseball for a little bit, but ended up going this direction, which I think was the better move for me. But what got me into it, just started reading at a really young age. I think it was
nice.
I think it was 17, and just started reading the right books, getting ideas in my mind, because I didn't really come from a family where everybody was super entrepreneurial and they had all their things going, and it was already, and those lessons were already there. So it was getting, good info from people who are already doing it, and that kind of sparked it for me.
Rich Dad Poor Dad was my first book I ever read regarding entrepreneurship, and that's what hooked me. My mentor technically gave me that, and I didn't grow up in an entrepreneurial family either, so I know where you're coming from there.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones for me too, man. It was just a shift of mindset, seeing one, that you can build things that can operate without you, and obviously you've got to have some of your own input in it, but if you can build things that can give you like passive residual type income, and it can just free up your time, it's just a different way to think, and that it's just something that they don't teach us growing up, sadly,
Nope.
But once you get the idea in your mind, for some people it changes your course forever, because now you know, so
That's exactly right.
But that was the beginning of it, just kind of sparking it with that. My first business, at that time I started trading in the Forex markets. And so was just getting asked by a lot of people at the time then, kind of how to do that. And so I just put something together. It was a website I had called No Diploma Wealth at the time, and just started because I had dropped out of school and was doing, having some success with it. So just started this website.
No diploma wealth.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. It's not active anymore. I ended up shutting it down to move on to the what I've got going now, but that was the start of it, and just built that from scratch, looking at how other people did it, and and I think that's a good starting point for a lot of people, is just looking at how other people who already do it well do it, and using some of the features that they use that work, and then making it your own thing. That was the biggest thing in the beginning, that got me from like zero to having something that actually was up and running and making some money.
You probably meet so many people right in that first venture anyway, that you can start to get ideas with this person, you start to work with this person, and it just kind of plays off each other.
Yeah, exactly, man. Definitely.
Nice. Okay, so No Diploma Wealth, what year was that? How old were you when you first started that?
Man, I think I was 20.
20. Okay, you dropped out of school. School wasn't for you.
No, it just wasn't, man. I just I had at that time I was gonna be a business major and that, but I'm just sitting in my business class, and this is like a common story I think for a lot of people, but just sitting in my business classes and asking the teacher like, hey, what was your best business? Like what do you
And he didn't do anything.
It's like, I don't really have any, I just teach it. And I was like, Okay, I mean, all
Doesn't make any
right. And
sense.
that was red flag number one for me. And then it was just the whole thing of like, it's like I'm not, I can speak enough Spanish. Like, why am I taking something over again if I've already taken it? And that was the weirdest thing was college is supposed to be you're supposed to be a free person. You're supposed to be an adult, have your choices, but you are paying for an education, but you don't really have as much of a choice in what you get to pick. You have required things you have to take, whether they're who you want to be and the kind of things you want to have skills at in the real world. And it didn't make sense for me at a certain point.
Totally. Yeah. What was your major? Because I was a finance major, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to be stuck in a cubicle whenever I'm 40 years old. So why am I even taking this? I want to be in business and development and creativity, and I can't use anything that I really have inside of me in this financial degree to a certain point, I guess. So what was
Okay.
your degree?
Originally I came in like wanting to like I'll tell you the first month I was in school I was like I think I want to be a political science major.
Whoa.
Just yeah, weird, right? I was like reading Yeah, I was reading like a lot of like Ron Paul and like just different stuff and was really into it. But like for me, I moved through things kind of quick. I think if they're not going to be for me in the long run, and I quickly took an assessment of how politics work, and I was like, I don't know if I want to be in this never fight where every 4 years it just goes back the other way. So I was like, not for me. Um, so that I swept over to business and was doing that. But like I said, I mean, everything, all the people like who were the resources nearby, being teachers and that kind of stuff. I was like, I can't. What can I really learn from you? If you haven't done it. And then and again, like I think like a lot of people, that made me go over to books and online courses and all that kind of stuff to look at and learn from people who are actually doing it. And that's where you're gonna get the best info is from people who are in the trenches and figuring it out day to day.
That's exactly right. And I realized one of my needs was to actually experience things for me to learn it. I'm not a sit in a classroom and just watch on a chalkboard and I'll pick it up. I have to be out there doing it for me to learn it. I don't know if you're the same way, but it seems like entrepreneurs have to experience things.
100%, 100%. Yeah, I mean, like I think they say, like the best teachers like experience, and obviously, the biggest thing with books as a whole, or just learning from other people who've done it, is you want to speed through and not make all the same mistakes that they made. But there's certain things to where you just can't learn it, or it won't stick with you enough until you've actually screwed up, and we're like, okay, let's not do that again, and then you're
Exactly.
on to the next. And yeah, experience is the best teacher for sure.
After school, where'd you go? What'd you do then?
Man, so after school, was out, started doing, had the online business going, but I got my real estate license also.
Me too.
Uh,
Nice. That's
oh,
awesome.
you did? Yeah, cool. So I was doing real estate for a little bit, for about it was a little bit over a year. Got into it because I was excited about more so, like I'm sure you probably the investment side of it, and I was so gung ho about that.
Me too. Yep, me
And it
too.
went and it went good. It went good for me, but it's just I didn't the day to day of being a realtor wasn't for me. But again, I think that's such a cool profession for people, and you could make a killing doing that. But so I started doing that. Ended up stopping that, and had like I said, had no diploma wealth. But during no diploma wealth, as that was going, I was really learning, saw the need to try and learn a lot of the digital marketing aspects of it to try and get new customers in. So every marketing company I would go look at, like it was either super expensive or the reviews were like kind of not too enticing, of like their past work. So I just started to learn a lot of the stuff myself, like with what you could do with Facebook and Instagram ads and some of the organic stuff, and just from a content standpoint, like how you can attract people and bring them in. And so like I said, I was kind of self-taught on a lot of that stuff, and just looking at other people who were doing it. And after acquiring a lot of that knowledge and doing some of it, started to build up, my own following a little bit. And then I would get asked by people every once in a while, like, hey, could you help me with mine? Hey, could you help me with this? And so I had like 4 or 5 people I was helping, doing marketing for them while the other business was going on, and really just kind of fell in love with the marketing aspect of it. And so ended up moving on from no diploma with the partner I had at the time, and just went full in and made mega takeoff, and like branded it that way, and started with just the one
That's your
product.
company now, Mega Takeoff. That's what I see everywhere, right? So Mega Takeoff.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So started mega takeoff. Kind of, it's so funny, man, just how it all kind of came together. Like Because it wasn't that long ago. I mean, it just like, I was sitting with buddies going like, hey, let's help me think of some names. Like, and we would start with, like little words and try and come up with different names. And then we heard I said the word mega. I was like, okay, I like that. I don't know what we're going to do with it. And then it was like 100 different ideas when we stuck with Mega Takeoff. I looked at the domain. It was available. Just bought it. And then I have a graphic designer I work with out of Singapore who I've never met in person, only spoke to over the phone and some FaceTimes, but they do amazing work for me. They designed the logo. The first logo that came out, I was like, love it, looks good, so let's run with it. I started building the website, and just like No Diploma Wealth, modeled the Mega Takeoff's website after a marketing company who I thought was doing it really well, but then it looks nothing like theirs now. It's our own thing now, but we launched it with just that one service, the Social Boost technology, and then added on all these other things as we've gone on.
I'm looking at it right now. It's a real nice website, man. Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah, so is that what you do? You basically reach out to business owners in general, anybody, any type of business? You have a certain niche that you try to help out with, or do you find any business that's looking to grow their social presence?
Yeah, so I mean, for us in the very beginning, like, and for me in the very beginning with it, like, obviously, I want to help out. I want to help out anybody who wanted to help. Now, like in something for 2017, or a little bit of like a focus shift, like I really want to help out and market products for businesses where like we really love what they're doing, right? So like someone with a really cool product that we would want to use, I would prefer to work with people like that, more so than just anybody, like, because like anything, man, like you wanna be excited about it at the end of the day, and it's like, like I'm a lot more excited about somebody who sells, really cool apparel accessories like one of our clients does, versus somebody who sells like high quality cleaning products. You know what I mean? Not that we won't work with them, but I would prefer to work with, the clients that we have that we really love what they do, because I think our work's going to be better that we're going to do for them if we really love their product,
And that's the thing about, finding companies that you can relate to a little bit. Not only can you get excited about it, but your creativity wheels can spin a certain way with that type of company, and you can help them out, and therefore when you both help each other out, you're going to grow better because the word of mouth from what they say about you is going to be better. So it's nice to kind of focus on a certain type of industry or things that excite you a little bit. That's the thing. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
You cut out for a second, but
sorry, my roommate just got here, Daniel.
Is he part of the business?
Yeah.
What's up, Daniel? How you doing, man?
What's up, bro?
Hey, get him on this, man. Can he answer any questions about it?
Yeah. Here, come sit.
Jump in here, man.
Okay, I like your flag, man.
Thanks a lot, man. It's called The American Entrepreneur. I'm interviewing you guys on a web series that just asks people about entrepreneurship in general and maybe something you've learned along the way that you could share with our viewers here.
Okay.
So he was talking about Mega Takeoff. Give me an idea how long you guys been in business. What's an average sales pitch to a customer base or a client? Give me an idea of if somebody's out here in the audience and they think that you guys can offer them something, try to sell them on it.
Okay. So the first question you asked was how long we've been in business for.
Yeah.
So it's been almost a year.
Okay.
Almost a year. Just branded the way we've been as Mega Takeoff. And so for anybody that's listening, that's considering working with a marketing company or already is, like our philosophy is a little different, than I think a lot of people. The biggest thing for us is like, it's a social network. You have to be social, right? And that's the biggest thing. And so just the same way you and I found out about each other, you took the initiative and interacted with me, got my attention. And it works the same way, whether you're a business selling a physical product or you're a person selling your own service. It's taking that active effort and then interacting with people who are not only just users on the platforms, but people who are already pre-targeted that would be interested in what it is that you do. And that's the real cool, unique approach that we have with the like Instagram and Facebook and all that is the targeting capabilities are amazing. It's just something that business owners didn't have years ago. You had to just hit the streets, knock on 1,000 doors, and just hope you found the people that wanted what you wanted. But now,
cold call like crazy, right? You're going to be cold calling,
Yep.
waste time. Startups don't have time nor the money to actually fight through those really dark days for that long. But with
Yep.
social media, I could spend $10 and I can reach 25,000 people who have the hashtag that I'm looking for and pop up on their screen.
exactly.
Right. And the funny part about this is that there's a ton of companies out there who still advertise in newspapers. We're still using radio, TV, whatever it is. And it's been proven that you can reach the most amount of people with the least amount of money with social media.
Hands down.
And if you do want to throw that much money into it, the growth is just crazy. So that's how we pitch it, man.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, and the second part of that for us as well too is that the clients that we help out from a content standpoint. You hear a lot about like lifestyle brands, right? And all that really means is that you're able to actually tell and convey your story through your content. That makes it a lifestyle brand. That's all that means. And for a lot of people, it's so transactional. It's like, buy this 2 for 1, 3 for 2, and that's cool and all. And people want the deals, but if they're not bought into like who you are and why you do it and how you do it, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You don't have a real business. And so we help people shape that message and convey that as well too for those who don't have it, or help them tell a better story if they've started that process.
And that's what I believe marketing is all about nowadays, especially on social media, is telling your story. If you can tell your story in the most relatable way, in the most authentic way, you're going to capture an audience, and therefore you have the time and the trust and the ability to offer them a service to help them. That's it.
Exactly. Yep. 100%.
So okay. What is one thing both of you guys have learned that you would share with our audience in the world of entrepreneurship? Maybe something you've done that you would never do again, or something that worked really well. What is something you share with us?
I'll take it.
Oh man.
One. I mean, there's millions. I know that, but
Oh man. Okay.
I know what to look out for now. But there are a lot of people, especially elderly people, who don't know what to look for in the details, and some people can get over on you, and that's scary.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, just do your due diligence. That's been the biggest thing for me, especially with being in a new company now. Is everything that we do. We're selling everything honestly. We're not going about anything fraudulently at all.
It'll come back to bite you no matter what, right?
It will, and my biggest motto, or the way I live my life, is I chase success, not money, because money comes with success. But if you're just focused on the dollar figure, you're going to get into some bad ways. So that's my 2 cents.
I like it. How about you, man?
Man, biggest like just little tidbits of advice for people. I'll give you 2, I think. Like one, and this isn't like, obviously this isn't my words, somebody else's, but it stuck with me, is how you do one thing is how you do everything. And that's like as small as like making your bed in the morning, or throwing that piece of trash away when you tossed it and you missed. Like that stuff carries over into how many calls you make for your business, if you're lead generating, or the quality of the work you provide. It all carries over, and that's kind of sticks with my subconscious now, to where everything, like if I'm doing anything, it's how you do that one thing is going to carry over. And it's not like we're trying to live a perfect life, and because that's unachievable, but everything's related to another. And that's a big thing that changed a lot for me. And the other thing too is, for within a business, right? Like in the beginning, the biggest thing for people that gets them from like, we've got this startup where like I got a business on the side, but I've got my job going, and where you actually have a business where that's your focus is. It's the revenue that you have, and the amount of money and the clients that you have that you're helping. And the biggest thing that gets people to that is focusing on money-making activities, and knowing your success metrics. And that's a big thing we've been talking about lately, has just been like, what are our metrics to where, because if you measure it, it's going to grow, right? No matter what it is.
Well, you have a focal point on it. If you have metrics, then it's attainable. If you just kind of say, oh, we're going to cold call and we're going to make 100 calls, and then tomorrow we'll do another 100,
Bad move.
Metric, then it's really hard to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Controllable metrics. I love that way you say that. I talk about that all the time. You need to have. Everybody has their own roles in the company, and if you are one person creating a company, chances are you're good at one thing and not the other thing. So you have to find people who strengthen your weaknesses, and you have to set these controllable metrics to hit every day, and then make adjustments and find out what your where you should spend your time and money.
Yeah,
Totally.
and the biggest thing too,
100%.
man, is especially with a business, there's a million things like you said that you can focus on, right? Like I could go on the website and we should change the color of this button. Or,
Yes.
I think this should be bigger, or there should be an opt-in here. You could do a million things, but at the end of the day, money-making activities are going to be the biggest difference, whether your business is a real business or if it ends up failing. And so it's so easy to get caught up on all the extras, but at the end of the day, like for us, what really moves our business is speaking to new people. If we're talking to new people who haven't heard about us, each one of those is a potential client for us, and that's how we're going to grow at the end of the day and have more people working for us and have a bigger impact in the world. And so the focus should be on that and not all the other stuff, you know?
And I love how you said how you do one thing is how you do everything else. And just like you said, when you talk to a person, whether they're a client, whether they're a friend, whether they're an affiliate, whether they're somebody who already turned you down, you talk to them the exact same way, no matter what, because you just never know. You don't talk to somebody
Yep.
who, has $10 in their pocket different than you speak to somebody who has $1,000 in their pocket. And it
Right.
just you just live a life a certain way, and you don't change for anybody. That's it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
Totally.
I love it, man. Were you gonna say something else, sir?
No, I was just gonna say, and that's the biggest thing for us is like, we have clients that are really small and also large clients, and it just we don't give a lesser service just because somebody has a smaller budget. It just caters accordingly to what that budget is. But what we're trying to do is still the same thing. The only difference is someone has a bigger budget, we might be spending more money on ads, or just throwing a little bit more money at getting, some of the content created. But at the end of the day, whether it's a local barbershop who's got a $100 a month budget or somebody with a $20,000 a month budget, we're still, the goals are the same for both of them,
I love it. We're big readers here, so give us if you guys have two. It sounds like you guys are too. We always try to read a book a week at DreamStarters. So do you have any recommendations for any books that you guys have read in the past? Obviously, we talked about it before, but anything you've read recently that you want to share with us, and maybe we should pick up and read.
Yeah, I'll give my first.
Yeah.
So I got two for you guys. The first one, and this is a business book. It's something I read recent, and that's probably why it's sticking out a lot to me. But it's The 10 Pillars of Wealth
Okay.
by Alex Becker.
Okay. 10
Such
Pillars
a-
of Wealth. Gotcha.
Such a good book, especially for business in like the current state of today. It's such just a hyper real look at like what it actually works and what actually doesn't and what's possible today, and like when it comes to like starting from nothing, and this guy gives literally everything away, doesn't hold anything back. Such a good book. That's one. The other book, I really like a book called The 50th Law.
Wow. Don't know any of these. This is good. I love this. Okay.
Cool, and it's by it's co-written with Robert Greene and 50 Cent, the rapper. Actually, funny enough,
Wow.
but
Okay.
it's such a good book, man. Robert Greene wrote like the 48 Laws of Power, and so it's some of that, and people might be more familiar with that, mixed with some of like the universal principles that like overlap between the two worlds of Robert Greene as an author and then 50 Cent as all the things he's done. And it's a really good book about just like a mindset of like a great mindset to have to succeed today. I think it's great.
2 new books I've not heard of, so that's awesome. How about you, man?
So I have too many books, so I'm gonna just give you one.
Do you read all the time, guys?
I do.
Yeah. Nice.
So the biggest one for me, and this is not necessarily a business book or sales book, but it's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. And basically what this book is about is creating a positive environment for yourself and creating a positive attitude. And I believe that you can create your own happiness through a positive attitude no matter what situation you're in. Just to give you an example from the book, one of the examples they use is when somebody cuts you off and you're, hey, screw you, man, whatever it may be. Instead of getting that anger in you, they teach you to ask, what is that guy trying to teach me? He's trying to teach me patience. So basically everything in your life is a learning situation instead of something that gets you angry or gets you pissed off or whatever it may be. So that book has helped me tremendously in life and with business because if you can always find the positive manner in everything, it's just going to end better for you. It will. So.
And I bought that book for my mom years ago, so I have to dig up that book and see where I can and read that. Because I did hear good things about that years ago.
Yeah.
And I think that really carries over into the entrepreneurial world because so many things go bad. So many things don't go your way. You have to figure out a way to just overcome them. And positivity is the only way to do it.
Yeah. And there was some graph I saw the other day where it's like what a business looks like or what people think business looks like or entrepreneurship, and it's a straight line. And then what it actually looks like is just like all over the place.
I've seen that.
And it's so funny because people see these really successful guys and think, oh man, that guy's lucky or whatever it is. And it's like, no, it's hard work.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, he became a millionaire overnight. Like, no, he worked hard for it.
And we're working with a guy right now. He's writing a book called The Iceberg Effect, and it basically is so much that you're trying to build, they'll only see a little bit of it all. Right. Everybody out there is only going to see a little bit. So you can work your whole life. It could be struggles, mishaps, mistakes, but at the end of it, they're only going to see this little bit. So, I agree with that, man. Not many people are going to see the whole journey, and that's why I'm all about like sharing the whole journey, documenting it all, because someday you want somebody to look back and see what it was really like.
Yeah, totally.
Well, some people say it takes 20 years to become an overnight success or something like that.
I've heard that. Yeah. Good stuff, guys. I'm glad you actually answered my Instagram. The statistics. I don't know what they really are, but 1 out of 15 or 1 out of 20 actually answer back. So you're one of the few, man. So I appreciate that.
That's your success metric.
Yeah.
1 out of 20.
1 out of 20. Even though, I don't know how people check it all the time. You just never want to look bad. You don't want to think it's all you. It's just somebody who's not looking at their phone. So, you don't want to ever take it personal. And I noticed that people who are really into the social media, whatever, they look at their phone constantly. So now it makes sense why you picked up, because you're obviously on it constantly and you know the importance of being on there. So.
Yeah, and that's a big thing too, man. Like one other thing, just when you said that, you made me think of it, is like in the beginning, especially for a lot of people when they have a job or they're going to school and they're trying to start a business, they should be saying yes to everything. Like this with you, I mean, who knows what's going to come from it for both of us and all of us being involved with it. But as you get more, like, as your business grows and you get more on your plate, you got to start saying no to a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
Yes. That metric of like yes to no ends up shifting as you get more successful. But people got to say yes to a lot more stuff in the beginning.
There are so many people I ask to do this, and they'll say, "Give me a script of the questions first." I'm like, "You have 100 followers on Instagram. Say yes to it. You just got come on.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You're not gonna lose them all if you answer it wrong. You're fine. Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. What are you worried about? You just want to be free exposure. I'm giving you 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half hour in front of people. Why would you ever turn that down? And no matter who you are. And
yeah, they're like, no, let me get with my copywriter and we'll make sure that it's all structured.
Let me get my lawyer on here.
Yeah, exactly. I've even heard that before whenever people were asking me for advice.
That's crazy. Funny.
That's awesome.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. And the ways to reach you guys, obviously there's megatakeoff.com, social media, Facebook, Twitter. How can they reach both you guys?
Instagram for me, the account you found me on, it's just my name. It's Dallas. The letter I, Rushing. Trying to get Dallas Rushing. That somebody's got it, but they've got one follower. I've been putting those messages out to Instagram. Can't get it yet. But yeah, on there they could add our Mega Takeoff, the Instagram handle as well. That's probably the two best for me.
You can change it to Real Dallas Rushing, by the way. Real Dallas Rushing.
Like Donald Trump? Real Donald Trump?
Yes. So yeah, just like Dallas Rushing.
Yeah. Or Dallas Rushing official, whatever people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too funny, man. Yeah. That's great.
That's awesome.
And you too? You on Facebook, Twitter?
Yeah. So my Instagram. Let's see here. I don't even know what it is right now. Let's see.
You just use the company's probably, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I mean, mine's kind of personal, honestly. I would say use the company website, megatakeoff.com.
Okay.
That would be the best bet on that.
Beautiful. And if anybody's watching for, as an entrepreneur or anybody who's a business owner, these guys have an awesome website, so check it out. But thanks a lot, guys, and let's stay in touch. I'll be corresponding with you afterwards anyway. Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks a lot.
No awesome. Guys, if you're out there, you're an entrepreneur, you have a story to share, we want to hear. Remember, guys, the American entrepreneur will always create more. Take care.